What is up, everybody, and welcome into the pregame show.
Let's go.
Do we do that? We have to vote on here. Yes, that's our thing. That's not votes. You thought that was votes thing?
No.
Dude,
No,
get out of here,
Are
Eric.
you kidding me?
Eric,
Are you serious?
Eric's not feeling it, man. He's not. We got to pick his vibes up. You know who's going to pick your vibes up? Not me, not Dev.
No.
Nikola Jokic.
Oh, my God. dude.
There's only one name I could have probably said there that you would have believed.
Nikola Jokic, you could have said, I don't know, maybe like Brad Pitt. I don't know why.
Brad Pitt? You
I don't even know why.
Yeah, there's no way,
Brad
man.
Pitt.
There's no way Brad Pitt could.
I'm surprised myself with that name.
Jokic's going to pick him up. I expect big things tonight. I don't know why. I have this feeling.
Oh, I love that feeling, dude.
Do you ever just feel like you're in tune with the universe?
Yeah, all
Never.
the time. No.
All the time? That's how I feel right now. We got good things coming for King Yoke tonight.
Sleep.
We're presented as always by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Use promo code DNVR whenever you sign up. Don't know which camera I'm looking into. Camera 3 over here. And later in the show, Superstar Dev is going to make us lots of money on that very app.
I sure will. He's going to test your very idea of allegiance versus from team to dollar.
Which side will you take? Which side will you take?
I got Eric. I got Dev here. You guys just want to come together to say hi?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's popping?
It's me and Dev here on this little couch.
The Dev and D-Line show.
The Nuggets are hosting the Utah Jazz tonight in search of revenge.
Dude.
The Jazz ruined our opening night, completely ruined it, made it not fun at all. Now they come to Denver. Denver has a chance here. Michael Malone in the pregame. Let's get to some pregame commentary here really quickly. He brought up rebounding a lot, which the Nuggets traditionally are good at, but they were not good in opening night against the Utah Jazz.
Smashed.
And I was surprised by this, fellas. I was looking at the stats earlier. Utah actually not good as a rebounding team. They're just great at offensive rebounding. So they give up a lot of offensive rebounds, but they also grab a lot of offensive rebounds. So I don't know. Do we say they're good? A good rebounding team?
They were certainly a good rebounding team against Denver specifically on opening night, and specifically Jared Vanderbilt. Really
rebounding.
Offensive, yes.
I think they're a good rebound. They don't even really have a center right now.
They
just have
all
guys. They have guys that are just after it right now. So I think that they're a pretty good rebounding team.
But they don't grab defensive rebounds. I say that to say there's an opportunity for offensive rebounds tonight, but there's also an opportunity for them to grab them, and that's going to be the key. I mean, Malone, I would call him in the pregame muted. You know, he was very just like, hey, man, we know what it is. They come in here. They're going to try to own the boards. That's how they're going to win, and we got to keep them off. So he did talk about Aaron Gordon, and he was asked a question about Aaron Gordon's three-pointers. Do you know how many three-pointers he's taken this year, Dev? 16. Do you know how many he's made?
2.
1. He's 1 of 16 to start the season, and a bit of a slump. And Michael Malone said, you never tell a guy stop taking threes. And he said Aaron does. He practices that every single day. He said, but he thinks, and I agree with him on this, Aaron Gordon hasn't been taking a lot of threes. Teams are going to start leaving him open, and he's got to knock those down. But he's like, the key for Aaron is just be around the rim. He's got so much athleticism, and he's been so great around the basket this year that he said as long as he's focusing on that, the shots will fall. And I think that's the right message. Do you feel, you kind of seem like you think he's taking too many?
I agree with what Malone is saying, but if I had one piece of advice for Aaron Gordon, it would be stop shooting threes.
The problem is, though, Eric,
is the spacing.
You can't not. Like, you have
but can't he just be in the dunker position all the time? Like,
you can't, though.
Why? I mean, was there always a world where we expected our 4 to shoot threes?
This is a bit of a funny question. No,
I think you have to knock down threes, and I think you have to take threes because it's going not only is going to mess up the space, and it's going to mess up the rotations. Guys are going to be able to double team a lot more, and it just makes you easier to guard.
But was Karl Malone shooting a lot of threes?
No one was at the time.
I'm just saying, like, is there only one way?
Chamberlain out at the three-point line? Get inside there.
I mean, truthfully, is there only, because of the way the basketball is being played currently, is that the only way to play it? Are there other ways? If you have a guy that cannot stretch the court, does he have to stretch the court?
What it is, Eric, is the same. It comes down to the same thing. The best play in the world is to give the ball to Jokic and get out of the way, but you do need other ways to beat a team. Like, you can't be too predictable. You need other things. And I think, again, Aaron Gordon's taking less than 3 3-pointers a game basically right now, and those are all like You put them in different places. You have plays that wind up. And then, obviously, there's just natural progression. If a Porter or a KCP cut, which is the right cut, you have to fill. And sometimes the guy filling is going to be Aaron Gordon. So it's just impossible to say never be at the three-point line. That would make it too hard.
Yeah, he's also not a horrible three-point shooter. So that it makes it even worse when you know you can knock down the shot. You know you can do that. It's a respect thing at this point. Like, you're going to keep not guarding me. I'm going to make it eventually.
100%.
He's in a bad slump right now.
100%. He's in a bad slump. The one thing I'll say is I don't want to see him try to, like with Jamal, shoot your way out of it.
No.
Aaron Gordon didn't need it. It's like you're going to get 2 or 3 a game. Hopefully you make 1 or 2 of them. Some nights you'll make 3. Sometimes you make 0. But as long as it doesn't become more than that. And I do think, by the way, the difference between the regular season and the postseason is in the regular season, teams don't just say, we're going to give this guy wide open shots. Too often, Anthony Davis right now, people are giving him, Russell Westbrook, they're giving him. But in the playoffs, I do think that we're going to get to a point in a series where a team says, tonight we're going to see, or maybe it's just a quarter. 4th quarter tonight, we're not guarding Aaron Gordon.
Right.
And he's going to have to knock him down because if you compromise yourself that much, a guy's going to have to be able to pay for him. So anyway, it's an interesting thing. Aaron Gordon, to me, has been very good this year with one caveat, his three-point shooting.
I couldn't agree more. He's been great dunking the basketball. He's been great rebounding. He's been great cutting to the rim. He's been great. Like the things.
Don't you think he looks more athletic?
Yes, because he's like not hanging around the outside as much, shooting threes. Like last year, he was shooting threes a lot, like a lot of outside shooting, and it like got into his psychology. I just want to. I mean, listen, I understand, but I also. Just looking at Aaron Gordon specifically, like he to me looks the best that he's looked in a Nuggets uniform in this stretch to me, and he's not hitting threes at all, but he's like really actualizing and like really taking advantage of his physical advantages. Like that's what this guy is. I mean, listen, you both certainly understand high level basketball strategy more than I do. It's just I just don't
think you can cut out those threes. Is what I'm saying. Like
I mean, that's what I'm asking you. Like I don't know. Like to me, it seems like you can, but I will absolutely defer to both of you on this question.
I also just think 3 a game is like that's fine. You're going to be taking those, but he has been inside. That's the more important point, and he is finishing them. And I honestly, it's weird to say more athletic. It really just comes down to more health. He just has a lot of pop. Like he's taking everything up through contact right now and dunking it. And last year we saw that. But I feel like we're seeing it so much more this year.
Yeah, I also think that it has a lot to do with the season just started.
Yeah, it's just fresh.
So, like, he is spry. He is fresh. He's also not having to defend at a high level and, like, trying to do too much or try to prove himself. And I feel like he did that when he, first came around. You have to be, like, you're the new guy. You have to do all the extra things. Now I think he's a little smarter about what to do. He's not doing all the extra energy that you don't need. It's like, okay, now I know how to play with these guys. Now I need to, conserve energy on this end and use all my energy to shoot more threes.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Some other notes. Michael Porter is back, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Porter is back. He's in.
We have to say Michael Porter is
Michael
returning.
Porter's back.
We don't use sentences.
It's still hurting and he's out.
We don't use sentences that involve the word back and Michael Porter. We say Michael Porter is returning to the lineup, baby.
All right. My bad. Michael Porter has returned to the lineup. But KCP is still out. In the pregame, Michael Malone said Porter's probable. It's announced he is in. By the way, can I tell you guys a pet peeve I have? And everybody does this, even our old guys. Nuggets tweet out the starting lineup, and then everybody just tweets the starting lineup rather than retweet the starting. I don't know why. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. I'm looking through the thing, and I'm trying to, confirm, where's this coming from? I was like, oh, that's right. The Nuggets tweeted it.
Oh, everyone has to have their own version of
their own version. And, yeah, they write out a full set, it's Michael Porter return. I don't know why it drives me nuts. I like the economy of motion on these things.
It's for the DFS purposes. People go to certain people for DFS purposes.
Oh, you're giving me a little insight here.
That's what it is. It puts them in the algorithm.
Who's your guy for DFS that you go to?
Well, I go to NBA Labs. They just do every starting lineup. I think that's the easiest one. But for the Nuggets, I'm going to go to Harrison. I don't go to the Denver Nuggets page.
There you go to Harrison Wind. Anyway, he's back. I just want to get that in there. But here's what's cool about it.
God damn it.
So KCP's out, Bruce Brown in. Now, look, I wish everybody was healthy because I just like the Nuggets being healthy. But the Nuggets keep giving us these combinations that are interesting. And I'm like, all right, what does Bruce Brown look like with the starters? What if it's better?
It's going to be great. We've seen it.
we've seen Bruce Brown with this starting five?
We've seen him.
We've seen him in Murray's spot. We've seen him in Porter's spot.
It keeps on switching.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Yeah, we haven't seen
with
this
KCP. You're right. You're right.
Well, it's because Michael Porter Jr. was out.
Didn't we see like a closing lineup version of this?
We might have.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Either way, we're going to see an extended look at it.
Yeah.
And again, him and KCP fill the same role, 3 and D stopper or whatever. But they're different, and I'm just curious to see if it is noticeable in the ways that they're different tonight.
Yeah, and also we were just talking about like Aaron Gordon shooting too many threes. Now at least we have 2 other like pretty good shooters around him. Really 3 good shooters around him, and you get to space it in a lot of different ways. And then also on defense, like Bruce Brown is just fun. Like he's fun. He's fast. He plays within the offense, but also he's locked down on defense, and you really do need that.
Lockdown.
So it does make it fun to just see these different variations early in the season, so you could like go back to it later in the season or at different times of the year.
I love watching Bruce Brown play with Nikola Jokic. Above all else, like he's the one guy on the squad that will consistently run to the basket very quickly, and Jokic will get him the ball, or at least it'll open other things up. He's like the guy that since Gary Harris has left, like we haven't had like a really good cutter in this offense, and he is that guy. So I love with the fact that he's starting.
For a while there, we thought Colin Sexton would be out, but he is in. He's another killer. I know he's in. Walker Kessler is out, so they literally are going to play with no centers tonight. I think Azubuike he's like the only guy they're going to have available to him. They're going to be very, very small. We'll see what that means. Rudy Gay is also out. He's been a Nuggets killer too, by the way. Rudy Gay has. And then you want to know who's a Jokic killer, at least a Serbia killer? Simone Fontecchio. He's out tonight. He's not really a Jazz key player.
Fontecchio. I know exactly what you're talking about.
He was going off. He was going off against Team Serbia. So, anyway, it's like all with COVID.
With COVID?
The Jazz players.
Man, what a throwback.
What a throwback. You guys remember that when that was around?
Dude, shouts to the Jazz. Are they wearing their throwback uniforms tonight, too?
No, they're not wearing them.
Okay, cool.
But honestly, Dev, how does that change your opinion of Jokic tonight?
Well, I mean, last game he played well already. That was like a big game for him. And it was because they didn't have a guy that could slow him down or stop him. Now you have to double down. He's coming off of a very good game. He's going to be able to grab every single rebound that, gets to him. And also feed him. Feed him in the post, give him the ball, and then just operate in different ways. This is a revenge spot for the team where guys felt like they didn't play up to expectation. The way that you get back to that is go back to what your bread and butter is, and that's getting the ball to Jokic. So, I mean, how you said you have a feeling, I didn't know all those things. I now have a feeling.
Now you know I now have a feeling. You got that same feeling?
It's crazy.
Do you think, though, honestly, here's my thing. I just think they're going to hard double. I think they're going to play the OKC game plan. Don't you, Eric? I mean, there's no way they're going to guard him straight up tonight.
You never know, man. People try some wacky stuff with Jokic. Because he's just a nightmare. As we heard in the now world-renowned documentary, 100 Invisible Threads.
World-renowned?
The fat kid that would, if you guarded him...
One kid?
Yeah, if you guarded him, he would
terrible.
pass it off. If you sagged off, he would make the shot. I mean, Jokic really puts you into a defensive, just struggle, just trying to think about how to... We'll see... I'm sure we'll see him being doubled and then not doubled, and we'll get the highest brain version of defense against Jokic like we see every night from every team. But man, all we need is just somebody on this squad to hit threes.
Yeah,
Murray, baby, Murrey.
I'm gonna tell you right now, they are doubling him. They're gonna send it early. They're gonna make sure that
you're feeling good.
Show that they're gonna double them because they have to.
Yeah.
It's not that they want to; they literally have to. You might even see them try to go into that zone that we just saw a couple days ago. I just expect that to happen.
Yeah, you're probably right.
The double team's coming.
Another difference between the last game and this one, and it's a meaningful one because we just talked about Sexton's in.
LeBron.
Why was LeBron matter?
You mean the last Jazz
game? I'm saying the last time they played the Jazz because Colin Sexton went off. But you know who didn't play in that game?
Ooh.
Christian Brown. This is a great... I'm being serious about this.
Know.
This is a great night to kind of be like, all right, Colin Sexton torched the Nuggets bench last time you played, completely humiliated. Oh, we'll see what happens now that we have a new guy. We found a guy. He was actually on our bench. We drafted him. We'll see what happens there. That's a really good challenge for him, and it would be great if Colin Sexton plays tonight and has a atrocious night.
I agree. That would be great.
That'd be really cool to see. Guys, let's talk about some ex-Nuggets. You know who also killed the Nuggets last game? Malik Beasley, a little bit.
Little.
And Jared Vanderbilt, a lot of bit.
Man.
And you know what? I walked away from that one thinking, kind of hate these guys.
Yeah. Do you think that you hate them more than Tim Connolly hates them?
Yeah, Tim
Nobody
Connolly
could
trades them
possibly.
at every opportunity.
Just honestly, where are you at? What are your feelings for? Where did your feelings peak for Jared Vanderbilt? The bounce pass in his first game, I think.
Yeah.
How high did they get?
Both of these players made it onto one of the Haters Ball episodes, and I still don't hate them. Like, I kind of feel, I feel bad for them more than anything. Like, because I originally...
They're making a lot of money to play basketball, and they seem content with that.
Great point by you. Just all the same, like, you know, they just keep getting kicked around, and I really loved Malik Beasley. I mean, again, the legal system has a different view on Malik Beasley than I personally do. But then also Jared Vanderbilt, like, he's just a hard worker. We saw him at Summer League. Maybe that's swaying my opinion a little bit.
We saw him at Summer League?
The year before last, yeah.
What was he doing? You mean
waiting
just
for
like out
an
and
Uber?
about?
He was waiting for an Uber.
This is why you like him?
Yeah, that's all it takes.
You love Summer League, man. You love completely different things too about Summer League.
No, honestly, like, I don't know. Like, another game like that, like in Malik Beasley staring down the Nuggets bench,
You'll hate him.
I mean, I can be swayed most assuredly.
I don't hate them at all. I like the way that Jared Vanderbilt plays. Like, I really think that any team in the league needs a guy that's just going to go out there and do everything. Also, Malik Beasley checks. He gives a check to every team. They want a knockdown shooter, and he's going to do that. He's going to bring energy and knock down threes. There's really no in between with him. Same with Jared Vanderbilt. It's just rebounding. Like, they just have a very small set of skills that they have, but they're really good at those skills. I also think that it was great to, like, trash talk your old team. It's not like he hates them or there's, like, really any, like,
you know, they went to Minnesota right after that same exact thing. Both of them play well. It'll win, upset win again. Like, that was a revenge tour to start the year.
Nobody even said anything about it after. Like, there was no hard feelings. Like, it's just like guys trying to hype themselves. And I kind of root for those type of guys. I want them to stick around the league and just to play somewhere because, I mean, it hasn't been going well with the teams that they've been with.
That being said, I would love for them both to have really bad games tonight.
Oh, shit.
I would want the crowd to give them love. You know, they don't need to be booed or anything, but...
Like, I like that. But I mean, I can root against you very easily. Dev, I hope he has a bad betting session almost every night just so I can clown him.
Are you implying that you like us?
Wow, that really came back at me in a way I
really
wasn't
did,
expecting.
didn't it? Wow.
Against me?
Wow, you both are bad for different reasons.
Hold on here. What's next on our docket? Oh, yes, the NBA today, it was reported, considering, kicking the tires. We're going to have a lockout. We're pretty certain of this. Like, it's going to really suck. I'm not excited for that at all. Some things have happened lately. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the news, Eric.
Never.
Steve Ballmer.
Sure.
They have these very difficult, escalating luxury tax payments. He doesn't care. He's like, how many millions is that? Oh, that's millions with an M. Yeah, I don't care. Let me know when these get him to the billions. Then you have guys like Jay Lacob who are not even that rich. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty rich. He's not hurting for money, but he's not like Ballmer rich.
Right.
And he does the same thing. He's like, we're making so much money, $500 million over the luxury tax. We don't care. And it's created these two economies where, like, the Cronkies are never going $500 million to the tax guys. They're never going to do that. They might go 20, and I'll be like, wow, look at that. I mean, this year I think they're 17 or whatever. But the NBA is looking at this and I think realizing that we're in a new era. We're in a new paradigm. And penalizing the current thing penalizes 25 of the 30 owners in a way that make them think twice. But there's 5 of them that are like, we don't care about that, and we can't let it happen. So now they're wondering, what if we put we keep the same structure?
We discussed this.
We keep the same structure, but there's a ceiling on it. Like,
yes.
You get penalized for going into the tax, but you can't go over a certain amount. That's the hard tax. Okay, we talked about it. They're thinking about this. First of all, the NBA players are not going to take this. This is one of many reasons I'm looking at it going, we're definitely having a lockout, because they're already trying to fix problems that the players will never accept. But what do you make of that idea?
Well, I mean, I'm absolutely in favor of it.
Why?
I mean, because I want the league to operate in a way that there's actual parity. Like, I don't like like the baseball model where it's just like the biggest bank wins each and every time. Like, it's funny that we have such a fake cap. Like, it just is. Yeah. You're like, oh no, okay, well, and really, like you say, I mean, it only penalizes a certain number of teams, and you can be like, well, those guys are also millionaires. If you want to play in this league, you got to step up to the plate. Understand all of that. But I like the NFL has a hard cap.
Yeah.
And to me, it's the best run of all of the leagues. It's like there's a certain point where you're like, well, this is the concept of a max contract already. Like, why having a max amount you can spend? I mean, isn't that sort of a logical extension of that idea?
So my grandma's a wise woman.
Is she?
And she called me and she
Were
said,
you in a relationship with your grandmother?
I called my grandma and she said, baby, you look good. I said, thank you.
Oh, man.
And then she went to tell me, she said, every day that you're not making money, you're spending it. And I was like, okay, like that. But also, it's my money. It's their money. Why are we trying to determine what they do with their money? Hold on. With that, what I'm saying is that's the advantage of playing for a Golden State Warriors.
Right.
That's the advantage of having a Golden State Warriors.
That's the point.
That's what separates them from a Kroenke. If he doesn't want to spend money, why are we trying to force him to not have to spend money? That's what he should be able to do with the money that he has earned. So I don't think that it's right that they're trying to. I understand that they're trying to make it better for teams, but if that's what they're going to do with their organization and their money, we should not have a say-so on it.
Regulations are in place in any industry, in theory at least, to make a product better. So the reason is not a moral one. The reason is we see a future in which a handful of teams, to Eric's point, can spend so much more than everyone else that they will just own the league and constantly win. And the NBA is looking at that and say that we don't want that model. Basketball already inherently lends itself to a lack of parity because one player there's only so many superstar players, so it already has that to allow for a Lacob or a Ballmer to spend astronomical amounts. So that's why you're right that on principle, why do we care about the money or this or that? But it's because he's looking around and saying it's not going to be fair. It's not going to be a good product.
But we're not looking at the NBA as just sort of a free market is one thing, but I'm looking at it as a thing that I like to watch, and I want the best product to come out of it.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. I'm responding to Dev, my man Dev, and at a certain point, when we are every time we start talking about what it is that superstar athletes should be allowed to have, blah blah blah. At a certain point, we're like, why do I need to worry about their life being 20 million times better than my life? Can't it just be 1 million times better than my life? I mean, you can still make ungodly sums of money, but I just want there to be this is a literal playing field. I would like it to be level.
Yeah. You just want the league to be good. That's the bigger thing.
That's it. I just want the league to be good.
If we had Lacob as the owner, we'd all be like, "This is bullshit." Come on, let us win.
All right, the poverty franchises. Blah blah blah.
We have one of those owners that was never going to This isn't going to affect the Kroenkes.
The last thing I'll say. I don't look at the Warriors and think they're better than everyone else because they get to pay their guys, though.
That's true, though.
I think it's just because they're a good team. They play well together.
They would not be able to afford Andrew Wiggins if it weren't for they just spend so much money. If you took Andrew Wiggins off that team, it's not that he's the guy, Steph's the guy, but if you took him off, it's okay, well now Juan Toscano-Anderson would have had
guys
to play
could just take less money and still be on the team.
But it's not happening. Andrew Wiggins literally there's no way. They are in that good in large part, because there's a lot of things that happened. One was the salary cap. They had that 1 year where it spiked and they were able to get KD, inflate their books, and they've just been spending like mad since then. But again, to their credit, on principle, I'm with it. Because they have an owner who's, again, not that rich, who's willing to take on these big risks because he's like, I'm making a great product and I'm going to make money on that. And I'm so in favor of that. I'm just not in favor of it when we have an owner who's never going to do that, as are 25 of these owners. And it's we're going to create a 3 or 4 Yankees and a bunch of Rockies.
Yeah. I'm for setting the hard cap at a high place.
Sure.
I want the players to make they are the reason that this sport is popular. I don't want the owners to get richer off of this. I want it so that it just doesn't actively ruin the league. Baseball sucks for this reason. It sucks.
By the way, Dane Moore reported this, and I actually have heard it since, that they have such a huge, when you're in the luxury tax, it gets spent to the teams who are not in the tax, not over the cap, right?
Yes.
It goes down. And I've heard that in addition to tanking for Wembanyama, their tax payment is so big this year that some teams who are in theory, would consider going over the cap, might sell off as the season goes on, so they could receive this giant payment. They're like, hey man, they're spending all that money. We each get, it was like $25 million or something like that that each team will get off of the Warriors payments or whatever. And it's like, yeah, of course, some teams might actually dip below the tax just so they can benefit. All right, enough of business, guys.
God,
let's talk pleasure.
Business corner sucks.
Actually, let's talk business. Let's make some money, Dev.
Let's talk real business.
Now you're in my business.
Yeah, there's by the way, no hard cap in the amount of money Dev can earn you tonight.
I can't wait to find out where he's going with Yoke on this one. But just take us in order. Take us on a journey.
Let's do it. So just looking at the line, I thought that Colin Sexton was out, but he's not out anymore, so I'll just go back to my original line.
You also listened to the game notes section of this very podcast, so that's how you got that report.
I put in my notes before this.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like they need to put respect on the Jazz's name. Like, this is a team that just smacked. I'm just saying, they just smacked the Nuggets.
I can't believe how much I hate
Listen,
this.
I know. You mean Dev.
They're not that bad. They're not. Plus 8 is a lot, so I feel like this is a line that you have to do like live. This is a live line.
Okay.
Maybe you could wait for it to go down if, the Jazz do go up and then Denver comes back, or if it balloons, then you're going to get the Nuggets at a big time. So if you're going to go with the line, just wait in the middle of the game. This is what I'll say. On the line, I have no idea how the line is 232. Like, the Jazz is not a high-scoring team. They're not a fast-paced team.
Okay.
I don't understand why it's 232. Also, Denver is not really that either, and they're not scoring a lot of points. So I'm going to go under on the over-under.
I don't love that bet, to be honest with you. I think it's home. I think we have a Bones night, but we'll get into it.
Yeah, I don't. These teams just play, so we have like things to go off of as far as lines. So D-Line did a cool bet the other day that we got to all celebrate together.
We did?
That first quarter bet. I liked it. I really did like it. I think that this is a team that comes out with some vengeance.
Where's that under? Do you know?
Yeah, it's under game props.
Yep, props. It just says, first quarter. So they have it at like -2. I like that. Like, I really think that they're going to, do well. So, like, I'm going to follow D-Line on that one and put that in.
How come I don't see this? Oh, quarters.
Yep.
There it is.
So, there's one guy that
Nuggets money line, -175.
Yep. Or you could just do the -2. There's a guy that kind of hates Jokic, and he plays well against him every time, and that's Markkanen. They have his over-under at 2 point, rebound, and assist at 28. He's going to get it. Let's just throw it in there. MPJ is returned.
Oh,
MPJ is returned.
Did you hear that? He returned.
And I just know he's going to want to prove himself. So, what are we going to do with that? This is a quick question.
Threes.
I like the threes. It's only 2.5. That's what I'm going to say. We're going to go over.
Hammer that.
Because I do think that he's going to try to prove that he's back. Let's get him at 2.5.
Let's go return to that well.
Let's return to that well.
My favorite well.
Also, with Jokic, because we got to throw one in there, it's going to be assist for me. Like, I really do think that he's going to just get the ball out of his hands, and he's just going to dish. He's just going to dish. So let's just get the over.
7.5. Yeah, but look at the crappy. You know what? I'm putting in a single game parlay. -150.
Yeah, you put it up so that he can get the 8 or the.
Is tonight the night where Jokic passes Wilt Chamberlain as the only center to get a triple-double?
Let's do it. I'm putting a triple-double bet in.
Yes,
plus
he is going to do it. And it might be just like a 15, 10, and 10.
Yeah, okay.
You know, he's going to get the triple-double.
Okay.
My lock of the day. The lock is Aaron Gordon. He went off against them last game. He had 22 points, 12 rebounds. Last time they played, guess what his points, rebounds, and assists is?
Too low.
22.5.
I got 23.5. Should I still go?
He had that in points alone.
All right.
And he's going to be the guy that Jokic is dishing to because they have to open it up.
You talked me into it. I'm in.
That's a lock. There's also not KCP. Like, they're just going to have to find a way to get the ball out of Jokic's hands, and it's going to go to Aaron Gordon, who he has a real good connection with. I smell free money.
Can we get a point? Can we get a single game parlay? Let's build one here together.
Okay,
Eric, shall we?
Because as is true with almost every game in the beginning part of the season, you can get a boost for single game parlays. So we should take advantage. We fools not to.
We would be fools not to. You're not going to like this. I'm going to do a three-pointers one again. I'm taking Jamal 2 3-pointers tonight.
Why would I not like that? I love that.
Sure. I just think that he gets out of his funk a little bit tonight. Here's another guy I think gets out of his funk. Aaron Gordon. I'm taking 1-3. Just one. I'm just taking one. I think he's going to make it. And then we got Michael Porter here tonight. Should we do 2? Should we do 3? What are you thinking here?
Let's go 2+. I like
2
to
plus.
Play,
we'll play it
safe. Play it safe. Like, just add.
You're right. I like this. So we got Aaron Gordon 1. We got Murray 2. We got Michael Porter 1. And we don't have any lines for Bones, which is a bummer because I would have totally taken it. We're just going to do that one single game parlay. I'm going to use my 20% boost. I'm just going to throw a modest amount of money on this here real quick. Oh, yeah, baby.
So
I love
modest.
it. Oh, it's so modest. I love it. I'm feeling this one. I'm making some money tonight. Plus 258. All right, that does it for us, guys. Hope you enjoyed the pregame show. We're going to be back here right after the game, Friday night at the DNVR Bar.
with the
do it.
fellas.
Are we going to go down and have a beer right now?
Dude, I'm gonna have many beers tonight.
Hit that like
Will
button
I
on the
be
way
on the
out.
post game show? Let's
Mini
find
beers,
out.
small ones, small beers.